Hey sports fans, are you a crazy football fan? If the answer is yes, then Vegas Sports Nuts invites you to show up and root for your favorite team this Saturday at Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Join host Jonathan Scott for free drinks, great food, prizes, and a chance to be heard and seen by other Vegas Sports Nuts. If you love the Chargers and hate the Raiders, or love the Bears and hate the Packers, we want you at Murphy's Law. You can sign up and pre-register online at VegasSportsNuts.com and tell us why we should have you on the air. That's Vegas Sports Nuts every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara and LVH Hotel and Casino. For more information and to register, go to VegasSportsNuts.com. Vegas Sports Nuts. They're crazy.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jonathan Scott. Welcome to Vegas Sports Nuts, coming to you live from Murphy's Law on Flamingo Road, just east of Maryland Parkway. As usual, welcome our New York Giants fan, Mario Longobardi.
Good afternoon.
And our New York Jets fan, Kenny Johnson. We are underway week 3 of the regular season in the NFL. Starting, let's back it up a little bit to Thursday night's game with your New York Giants against the Carolina Panthers. Let me start with a paragraph here that you were kind enough to bring me. This came from the Yahoo Post. Some Yahoo posted it. The tried and true blueprint for championship success is carved in stone, and yet we still think that a running QB will win it all. No QB has ever won the title that didn't first look to pass before he ran. How the Panthers thought they could run the option on the Giants' DEs is a joke, like throwing fly patterns at Revis, just ignorant. It's a humbling experience for the likes of Newton and RG3 when they realize that their prototype fails terribly over time when skilled NFL defenses stop them easily and often. It's like a striking revelation. This isn't college anymore. Or, that used to work all the time at Auburn. I want to see what Bozo franchise thinks Robinson of Michigan is the next viable NFL QB with their mistaken image for what wins in the NFL. Mario Longobardi, what do you say?
Well, first of all, what did you think of the post?
I thought it was great. Now explain it.
Oh, because I wrote it yesterday.
Oh, it's
I didn't tell you that because maybe you wouldn't have read it, and I didn't want to read my own post.
How was the read? Was it a good read?
It was a good read. Of course.
I'm going to be out.
Of course, Darryl Reeves is who I'm referring to, and I threw props to Kenny's guy over there. But listen, you know, week 3, Thursday's in the book, and last Sunday, going back to RG3's last game, I mean, we have 2 quarterbacks here that were frustrated with what the defenses threw at them, and they answered with frustration on the sidelines, and RG3 actually came out and said that the Ram defense was dirty and unprofessional. These guys, especially a guy in only a second pro game, that's the worst thing you can say when you're just getting into the NFL. Really. And Kenny, what do you think? I mean, yes, Cam Newton put up incredible stats last year, but the Panthers did not make the playoffs. Not that anybody expected them to, but you cannot run the option at 3 of the best 6 or 7 defensive ends in the league and expect to have success.
That's all you have to say about the Giants' victory? I was
No,
expecting more.
but I was talking.
Keep
Well,
going.
no.
What was the final score?
36-7. And we had 4 offensive starters out, including our best running back, our best lineman, and our best wide receiver. And there you have it. You know, I mean, Tom Coughlin did a great job getting the team prepared. And the coach of the Panthers really didn't do anything mid-game to change anything. And like Cutler the week before, I thought Newton, again, he wasn't looking at a picture from upstairs. He was not talking to his teammates. He was not talking to his coordinator.
Never called his mom.
Never called his mom, right? Or his grandmother about the laundry from last week. Look, just because you fall behind 2 touchdowns does not give you the right just to segregate yourself from your team and power. And that's what I'm seeing from these young guys. They have to be active with their coaches and their film members there. Well, what are they there for?
Okay, that was the Thursday night game. Now let's go back to the Tampa Bay Giants game on Sunday. He gets to talk about the Giants twice this week.
Well, we could talk about that for sure. It was an amazing 4th quarter. I'll tell you what, though, and you and I were talking about this, Kenny, and even the guy who was doing the Bucks, whatever he was doing last week here in this studio, he commented that the running backs and wide receiver coach for the Giants for 8 years was now the offensive coordinator for the Bucks, and their defensive coordinator was the defensive coordinator for the Giants for 1 year. It was like they knew the Giant playbook. They were in lanes that they should have never been in, and it was you know, for Rondé Barber, it was like the Super Bowl all over again when Gruden seemed to know every play that the Raiders were running. It was very difficult for the Giants to win that game. They overcame the hardest thing there is, you know, firm knowledge of what the offense is doing.
I'm going to throw a stat at you from last week.
Go ahead.
1,237 to 40.
1,270 to 40.
Yeah. That's how many words you spoke last week, and that's how many words I spoke last week.
And yet, you told me to go on and on about my Giants, which is the easiest thing to do. But
You
it's
can't
an
stop
NFL football show.
You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain
But
them.
you can only go think it's a
I was able to get in a joke, and I was happy with
Yeah,
that.
you did. Toulouse.
Too tight, too loose. All right. Anything else on Giants Panthers?
No, I've heard enough about the Giants Panthers, and I think the rest of the world has too.
Well, they didn't make the over and under, if anything, but they did kick the.
No, I give them credit. They played well. Everybody in the brother was all
Andre
over.
Brown and Ramses Barden. The Giants are a deep team. The Giants are the kind of organization where the next guy in line is ready because he knows he will be used. And if you're a wide receiver or a tight end for Eli Manning, you will get the ball. He cares not about your number on your jersey. He'll throw to you if you're open. And same with his brother. So, you know,
Let's speak about his brother for a minute last week.
that was.
Oh, do we have to talk about his brother?
Yes, we have to talk about his brother.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That was a tough game.
That was a tough game against a middle-tier quarterback. You know who Peyton Manning looked like last week? Dave Brown.
I was going to say Danny Cannell.
Jim.
Dave Brown. Well, that's tough.
Yeah, Dave
Having
Brown's
been
what he
a
looked like.
Giant fan my whole life, Dave Brown is a tough inside.
Oh, I got him.
Yeah, I
I
like
got
that,
him.
huh?
I got him.
Let's talk a little. Go ahead.
But I thought it was really, I've never seen safeties before the snap of the ball go to the line of scrimmage and then back up so that no way could Peyton do his audibles. I mean, I don't think you get away with that over and over again, but as a first-time thing, I think it really threw Peyton. He did not know where the safeties were going to be, and that was his difficulty. But like Peyton Manning, he looked at film, talked to the coaches, and he made a furious comeback. And the look on the Falcons coach's face in the fourth quarter was like he always looks. My daughter always says he always looks like he's crying or about to cry when things don't go well. And he does. He's kind of has that look. So
Do you think his injury came into play at all?
I tell you what, I do not like some of the out patterns he throws. There is a serious loss of velocity on his ball on a 15 to 20 yard out pattern. Now, whether or not he's just getting in shape and he needs to rebuild the strength in there, or whether it's a permanent thing from the neck, but it is a concern. His ball is getting out there a tenth of a second later than it used to.
And they're high too.
Yeah.
He was throwing the ball a lot higher than he normally does.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about last week. How did you guys pan out on last week's picks?
I actually was 10-5 and there was a push, including the Bear-Packer game, which I had the Packers 10-5, which is really terrific, you know, with the spread. So I'm happy.
How'd you do?
I think I went 9-3 last week because there was a few games, the grandmother's laundry game, the stink on ice game that I passed on. I did lose with the Jets. I lost the Patriots game, and I also
heard the
had
Patriots game.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Brady's kind of a little lackluster in the start, isn't he?
That was an amazing loss in Foxborough. Amazing.
Can I jump in?
Wes
for
Welker's
once?
not
I can't
starting.
jump in
Hell,
for
do you
one
want to talk about Wes Welker not starting?
second. I don't want to talk about Wes Welker.
I think it's a
I
huge
want to
story.
talk
He's not
about, I
starting.
would have loved to see the proposition bet anywhere
Yeah.
that Larry Fitzgerald would have four yards receiving
Exactly.
and that the Cardinals would beat the Patriots.
Go figure.
The guys in the know would have put their houses on that line because you would think Larry Fitzgerald would have to have a 3-touchdown performance to beat the Patriots, and he had 4 yards. It was incredible byline to that game. That Fitzgerald was not the reason we won.
All right, we're going to go to our first break and come back. We're talking about week number 3 in the regular season. We want to thank our sponsors, the LVH Hotel and Casino, where you can see comedy after dark at 10 o'clock Thursday through Sunday. Dominic Allen in Classic Vinyl Classic Experience, with his guest star Denny Lane from one of the founders of the Moody Blues and Paul McCartney and Wings. That's next Friday, the 28th, at the LVH. Tickets are on sale at the LVH box office, only $19. Classic rock show. So if you're a classic rock fan, you want to see Vinyl, starring Dominic Allen. Also, I want to thank our sponsor, Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara. New and pre-driven certified Cadillacs. Now's the time to make your best deal. End of the month. Everybody knows end of the month. Get in there if you're looking for a car. Go see LJ over at Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara. And tonight, Saturday, tonight at the Mirage at Revolution, there's still tickets available if you're a reality TV star fan. Go to thevegasbash.com, and get some tickets to party with everybody at 10 o'clock tonight. Red carpet's at 9 at the Vegas Bash. The main event is tonight, so we'll be right back with week 3 of the regular season here in Vegas Sports Nuts. Yeah. Hey, we're back with Vegas Sports Nuts. We're coming from Murphy's Law on Flamingo Road, just east of Maryland Parkway. And we're here with Mario Longobardi, Kenny Johnson, talking about week number 3 of the regular season. And let's start with the Rams versus Bears. Mario, what do you have to say? It's -7 on the Bears, 43 on the over and under.
Well, Cutler said 10 days to look at his performance against the Packers. I think that the fact that the Rams are 2-9 against the spread in the last 11 is a stat you have to look at. Steven Jackson is questionable. There was actually a groin. Everyone thought that Jeff Fisher might have benched him for whatever reason. I don't know how Jeff Fisher does not call for a review on that Steven Jackson run the last of the game for him, because it was a touchdown. They ended up getting 3, and they still got away with the win, but that was something that I thought that Jeff Fisher missed. You have to talk about that wide receiver Amendola that's being compared to Wes Welker. I think he had 14 catches or something like that. I do like the Rams with the points here. I mean, the Bears have not shown that they can be explosive, and of course Matt Forte is not playing, so I see the Rams with the points here. I think they're a strong play with the points.
43 over and under.
I did not like either way on that.
Okay, Kenny, what do you think?
Rams are starting 4 backup offensive linemen. Their offensive line's a mess right now. They were fortunate to win last week. Dumb coaching decisions, stupidity on the part of the Redskin. Josh Morgan had a temper tantrum that might have cost him the game. The Bears did stink the place up. Cutler was putrid. I look for a bounce back spot. Michael Bush is an adequate fill-in for Matt Forte. And if, God, I have to allude to the Giants game. A lot of times when a star player, with the exception of the quarterback, is injured, people overreact. The Giants had 4 starters missing and everybody just stepped up. Matt Bush is an adequate replacement for Forte, and they need a big game.
Yeah, they do. They need to get
I'll take the Bears laying 7.
And over and under 43.
Is the spread 7 now? It was 8.
Did it move?
Did it move down to 7? Okay.
Well, morning line at the LDH is 7.
Okay. That one could push. I mean, I'll still take the Rams because I said I would, but that's about where that line should be. The Bears will win, I think, by touchdown.
Cowboys, Buccaneers. KJ, what do you think? It's -8 Cowboys, 46 over and under.
Cowboys, another team, stunk the place up last week back at home. This is another Jekyll and Hyde team. I can't get a pulse on this team. I never can. The Buccaneers, I don't know how they're going to come back after, having a big lead against the Giants and then just having it disappear. I don't see Tampa being emotionally high for this game. And Schiano's not making any friends in the NFL. There's a coach that's going to see teams score late touchdowns and rub it in his face. It's going to be him, because what he did, God, I got it.
That was terrible.
Talk about the Giants.
That was just terrible. And you know what?
I'll let you go.
If you watched enough football this week after the games, as a Giant fan, or just about any fan, but to see a homer like Jaworski, say that Schiano did the right thing, and then he's talking about it to the video of Herman Edwards picking the ball up off Zonka's hip as it hits the ground, was way too much to bear. And then to see the other tomato, who's the guy in Texas?
Tomato.
That's always on the Stephen A. Smith show with them. I can't think of the broadcaster, but another guy that defended Schiano. I don't understand. There was 5 seconds to go on a first down play. The game was over. You will get somebody hurt. We were in the victory formation. There was no question that that was a cheap shot. And
so you're taking the Cowboys?
I didn't say anything about the game. We were just talking about last week. We didn't even get to this game yet, in my opinion.
Cowboys, Buccaneers. Cowboys are -8.
Well, yeah, it started out at 7. Then I saw 9.5 on this sheet here. 9.5.
That's first quarter.
Let's see. I do like the Bucs, but I can see the Cowboys getting their act together for a game. This this team stinks from the top down, in my opinion. They got an owner that's over obsessive. He's his own GM. They got a geek for a coach that's an X's and O's guy.
Former New York Giant. He's talking about.
But he's
former New
geeky.
York
I
Giant
did not
geek.
want him
Can
as the
anyone out
coach.
there believe
When
this?
he was eligible to possibly be the New York Giant football coach, I said no way.
Talking about a former New York Giant geek.
He's
You
a
heard it
great
there first,
coordinator.
folks.
But I don't see any sideline presence in Jason Garrett, and I just don't see him commanding this team. And this team has a huge discipline problem. Basically, the inmates run the asylum, and it's more than the fans. The Flames are more than fanned by Jerry Jones. In fact, wasn't there a Felix Jones discussion that the coach wanted to cut him this week, and Jerry Jones says, "I'm not cutting." I mean, I've never seen that in years between the GM and his own coach openly in the media about whether or not they should hang on to a player. That was terrible. But I'll take the Bucks with the points because it's always fun rooting against the Cowboys.
Mario plus 8.
And I do like the over in this game.
And the over. KJ.
Unfortunately, I like Dallas in this spot. I'm not a huge Dallas fan either. I think Jerry Jones he's more about being on TV than winning, it seems.
Over and under 46.
As many points as Tampa gave up last week, I don't see a whole lot changing here. And Dallas is in a good spot for a breakout game offensively, so I think you might see an over here.
Okay, we got 2 overs. 49ers, the team that looks like they're the ones to beat. 49ers minus 6.5 against the Vikings. Mario.
This is a great team to watch. If you're a traditional football fan, they're very well coached and prepared. They run the ball, they stop the run, they got a defense. This may be the best defense since the 2000 Ravens. This is a phenomenal team. And Smith is showing with the same offensive coordinator for a second year in a row that he could actually make plays. They're hitting that quick slant, and Vernon Davis is a beast. And Frank Gore, it's just amazing to see the guy post ACL have so many years of great football in him since the surgery. I like this San Francisco 49er team a lot. I'll lay the wood. I don't care that it's in the Dome in Minnesota. I just don't see Ponder and Peterson having enough to defend against this Niner team, and I see Ponder having a long day.
43 points, over and under.
You know, I don't know which way this is going to go. I see the Niners covering, but, you know, you can easily have a backdoor over cover in this game by the Vikings, so I wouldn't play the over or under, but I think the game is going to look like it's an under, whether it stays under, but I wouldn't bet it.
KJ, what do you think? Vikes, Niners.
Vikings, I said last week, had given up 30 touchdown passes in the last 15 games. Now it's 32 in the last 16. Their secondary is not good. I think Alex Smith will have a good game. This is one of those potential trap spots. I know that this is one of the big trap games people are talking about. I think the 49ers win the game, but I would not be surprised at a 24-21 or 21-17 game here in this spot. So I 49ers still win, but the 7's a little dangerous, I think. This is you'll see how good they are. If the 49ers come out and win 31-10, watch out. They're beyond dangerous if that happens.
Over or under?
The game barely went over last week against Detroit, who has a much better offense. I see this as an under.
Did you go over or under, Mark?
I said I could see it going either way, and I didn't prefer. I could see
All
this
right.
being a 28-10 game and them running away with it at the end. The Niners.
Lions, Titans. Mario Longobardi. Lions minus 3.5, Tennessee Titans.
Well, the Titans are just not a very good team. I don't think that they have a great coaching presence on the sidelines. Chris Johnson is not snapped out of his now 18-game funk. And I just think Detroit's going to snap back here. I think Calvin Johnson's going to get a couple touchdowns. Is Jonathan Best coming back anytime soon?
Kevin Smith's been doing fine. I haven't heard anything about him coming back.
Well, I just like the Lions in this game over the Titans, regardless of the fact that it's a dome team on the road outdoors. It doesn't seem to matter at all. So I would play the Titans. I'm sorry, the Lions in this game, and I can see this game going under. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Lions in the under.
Detroit is the spot here. Tennessee is not played well. got humiliated by the Chargers last week.
Although I am curious to see Stafford's ball this week. I thought playing outdoors last week, I did not see a very tight spiral. He was a guy who I think struggled with his ball a little bit. So
Who hasn't?
I would play the Lions this week.
There's children present.
Okay, so we got the Lions on both. Bengals, Redskins.
Money line special.
Moneyline Longobardi. Mario, Moneyline Longobardi.
I think there's a hangover here, and plus you lose a Rakpo for the year. The Bengals are going to win this game outright. So
I love the over here. Washington's defense.
Love the over.
Future.
Love the over.
More than
They
50.
can't stop anybody.
No, and the Bengals. Let me tell you something. The Bengals are a dangerous one-on-one team. They ran into a buzzsaw, Raven team that week 1, but they're gonna look to take it out on somebody still. And I just see RG3 needing to learn he has to, exist a little bit more in the pocket than try to make plays with his legs, because he is going to get.
And Garcon's out too.
And Pierre Garcon is out, very good. His favorite target early on. So I
So
like the
very good to
Bengals
a
here,
Jets.
and I like the over.
You're taking Bengals too, KJ?
That's a real good spot. They played Cleveland last week. Cleveland actually showed up. They got Richardson. Cincinnati's going to score points, but they're going to give up points too. And the Redskins defense is not look good at all. So I think the over is the play of the day here.
Yeah, you're both going over us.
Yeah, no, I really like that
That's
over.
one of my favorite side totals this week.
All right, we're going to take a short break here. Again, thank you to Murphy's Law. We're coming to you live from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Great food, great burgers, food specials. Las Vegas Hotel LVH, where you can see Comedy After Dark starring Anthony Padilla, Thursday through Sunday, 10 p.m. Cadillac of Las Vegas, where they're running specials. End of the month clearance. Get in there if you're looking for a new car or a used pre-driven car. And the Vegas Bash again tonight over at Mirage. You can sign up for tickets for 100 reality TV stars. Go to thevegasbash.com, sign up for that. We'll be right back in the third quarter here on the Vegas Sports Nuts. Go to vegassportsnuts.com and check out our website. We'll be right back. Jonathan Scott back here at Vegas Sports Nuts, coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo Boulevard, just east of Maryland Parkway. Brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas. And if you're looking for a new or pre-driven Cadillac, go see LJ Harness over at Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara. Mario, Jets, Dolphins.
The Jets, Jets. Well, what can you say about my friends who share our stadium with us?
The Panthers.
There is a website I use called VegasExperts.com. I think it's superb. It really is a great website. And I've been using it for years. And I often check the IR on it, the injuries. The Jets have 22 players on it, and most of them are probable. So I don't know if it's just an idea in your coach's head that this is a good thing to do, but I've never seen 22 players. That's 22 or 53 players listed as injured. Can you tell me? Are they that banged up?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, we're going to check out what I'm talking about, because I thought it was crazy. I mean, there must have been 15 probables.
Come on, get your slams in before I go.
I do like the over in this game.
Let's spin it all in, boys.
Daryl Revis is back. Okay, Daryl Revis is back. That is maybe a touchdown difference in any game for the Jet defense. They simply cannot throw to his side. I do like the over. I actually do like the New York Jets in this game.
No, say it's not so. How could it be?
I've just been mushed.
Yeah, they've officially been mushed. I do like them in this game. I see them winning. And more than the 3.
Last 10 years, what's the Dolphins' point spread record at home?
Last 10 years.
Last
Point
10
spread
years.
record. I don't know, Kenny. You're going to tell us though.
22-50.
Really? That's not good.
22-50, and in September, the last 5 years, they're 4-13.
Uh-huh.
I harken back to the Ken O'Brien, Leslie Walker, and Marino and Mark Clayton days. This used to be one of the best rivalries in football. One of them, just great games to watch. Things have changed a little.
They only have
The
one
Jets
Super Bowl.
only.
Go ahead.
The Jets.
You're upset that he's interrupting you?
What else is new? Oh, the count, by the way, is now 1,540 to 112. If anybody's keeping track how many words he's spoken. He's right there. The Jets have to shut down Reggie Bush, and if they can do that, they win. Hardline's the best receiver that the Dolphins have. Sanchez last week played good in the first half, then in the second half, Santonio Holmes was the only guy he threw to.
Are you going to say miserable?
No, Holmes had 11 targets. He caught the ball 3 times, and the other 8 times there was blatant pass interference. If you don't believe Santonio Holmes, ask him. He was screaming for a flag every
Just ask
play.
Santonio Holmes.
Yeah.
Does he speak English?
One of the real, great ambassadors of the NFL, Santonio Holmes.
Why do I have to put up
Him and
Oh,
Terrell
I
Owens.
am going to get you later. Okay, go ahead.
Let's go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let's get it all out, fellas.
Okay, how bad are the Raiders if they lose to that Dolphin team last week? And like Reggie Bush is about the only thing that they have. Tannehill, did play better, but this Raider team was embarrassing last week, and I thought they laid down. Reggie Bush should never kill you like that, and he's not going to kill the Jets. So I see the Jets covering.
This is
Unheard of. Unheard of.
Unprecedented.
On Vegas Sports Nuts.
You heard it here.
So, Kenny, I'm guessing you're going with the Jets.
24-13, 24-14, something like that. I don't see the Dolphins
That's about accurate.
scoring. You just said you like the over, and I said 24-14.
Oh, I think the spread, though, but the spread,
This night is Giants.
they will win by
You
10,
can't
is
count.
what I meant to say.
You can't count.
I was referring to the difference in the two teams' scoring.
So that'd be 34 points. That'd be the under. You're going under 41 and a half.
Under 41.5. Somebody help this guy with some remedial.
You're going over?
Yes, remedial.
Last week he
I
says
actually
the
did
Jets.
the math on this game, and in the one math equation I have for over-under, there was a 10-point differential. Now, I know it's only 2 games worth of stats, but this should be a 50 over-under.
If you watched last week, Mario had to throw the dig in. The Jets haven't won the Super Bowl since 1968. He goes, that's 42 years
It was
ago.
44 years ago.
Oh, see, he took his remedial math class. I apologize. You got it right.
Listen, all right? Let's move to the next
No, let's stay on Jets Dolphins just a little more.
All right, well.
All right, Chiefs Saints. Mario Longobardi. Saints minus 8.5, over and under 53 points.
If Drew Brees thought he was going to lose to RG3 and Cam Newton in his first 2 games at the end of last year, before all this stuff happened with Bountygate, he would have said, absolutely no way. And only any fan would have thought that was possible. But their average time of possession versus their opposition is 25 to 35. You simply cannot spot another team 10 minutes of possession. They're -4 in the turnover ratio, too, are the Saints. And when they won in 2009, I think they had something like a +30. It was some insane number. So, the Saints are 0-2, and for a lot of good reasons. I do see them snapping back, and I do see them covering here. Where is it on the 9?
I've got minus 8.5, minus 9.
Yeah, no, I
someplace.
see the Saints just laying the wood to them pretty good at home, doing something for the home folk here. I don't know what to think of KC. I thought they were going to play a lot more competitive in their first 2 games than they did, and it's just not there. I mean, Matt Cassell, if he gets off to a great start, he does well. If not, forget it. I mean, if the Saints get up 10-0, 14-0 in this game, it's over. He never can come from behind.
You're sticking with the Saints, too?
Over, and over.
Over 53 points.
Neither team has played a lick of defense this year. The Saints shouldn't be favored by 9 over anybody, but at the same time, Kansas City's in the top 3 think to join up teams so far early in the year. I mean, they made Buffalo look like a Super Bowl.
So you think Saints are going to cover the minus 8.5?
I don't think they should be favored by 9 over anybody, but this is another stinks on ice game where I love the over. I can't pick a side on this, but neither team's played any defense. Over 53, beat me at the window.
Really? Wow, we got 2 really strong overs on
I didn't say over. I don't like 54. 54 is a big number.
It's a lot of points.
It's a big, the Giant fans can't.
I would just lay off.
Oh!
Oh, Jesus.
We need those sound effects, Tommy.
I know. Next week. Oh, yeah.
At least we're clear on the fact that the Jets now haven't won a Super Bowl in 44 seasons.
That remedial math class is really painful.
You know what? It's so hard to keep up because, you blink and it's another 5 years you haven't won a title. So.
Buffalo Bills, Cleveland Browns. Bills minus 3. Kenny.
Cleveland showed some offense. Richardson, out of nowhere, played a good game. First game he had, the knee surgery, didn't do a whole lot. But he played good against a good Bengals game. That was a very competitive game last week. I think Buffalo was fortunate they played an extremely inept Kansas City team. Cleveland's in a good spot here. I'm not a fan of Buffalo. They lost too many players. I like Cleveland here.
But they picked up Mario Williams, who might be the most overpaid free agent out there. You can't earn what Mario Williams is earning and not play to the level of a JPP or a Jared Allen. I mean, he's got to earn his keep if they're going to lay the money out for him like that. And Mario Williams has been nowhere this year in a Buffalo Bills uniform. However, I will say this about Buffalo. If you back out the first half of the Jet game, and I know that the Chiefs were pansy, they have shown...
pansies. We have two pansies now?
Okay.
Your grandmother called the underwear already.
You absolutely pansy. Anywho.
Oh, he was almost speechless.
No,
Oh!
I do think that the Browns at home are going to win this game and they're going to cover. I think that the Buffalo Bills are 1-1, and if it wasn't for the Chiefs, they'd easily be an 0-2 team. I just don't see them doing much on either side of the ball, and I'm not sold on that quarterback, even though they were more than happy to give them money last year in Week 7.
So you guys are agreeing both on the Browns.
And I like the over in this game.
KJ, over
A lot
under?
of special teams type touchdowns. I don't think the
Yeah,
offense
you
does
got
it.
Krebs. I agree with that. And Cleveland gave up 31 to Cincinnati last week. I think the over's the bet here. Plus, most of these games are going over with the replacement refs calling pass interference.
Yeah, I read that even the handicappers are going a half-point difference.
At least a half point. I think they're saying that and they're shading it, not telling me that it's more.
Okay, last game of the morning, Jaguars against the Colts. Luck, what do you think? Anybody?
Well, I think Andrew Luck comes back this week and he wins his second game. I don't see much from the Jaguars. Maurice Jones-Drew is basically the offense. He's their second leading receiver and on the team, and that's never a good thing when your running back is second most in catches. I think that the Colts, with another week under their belt with Luck, Dwight Freeney is supposed to be playing this game, and I see them coming out and put some points on the board. They might put 30 up this game on this Jaguar team on the turf.
The Jaguars cannot stop anybody in the run. Peterson wasn't even supposed to play the first game, got 2 touchdowns last week. Tate and Foster just ran at will against them. The Colts don't have a great running game. They got Donald Brown. He's probably good for at least 80 or 90 yards and a touchdown, at least against his defense.
Hey, John, what's Kenny's surprise for Mario?
All right, well, let's get the... So you're both taking the Jaguars?
No.
Colts.
Colts.
You're both taking the Colts.
Okay, you're going to love this, folks. We have gone 2 weeks in a row with the mention of Y.A. Tittle.
Yes.
My favorite name in football.
We haven't heard Y.A. Tittle's name today, but now we're going to. We're going to test our...
He's here?
We are going to
He's here, live.
We are going to test our Giants fan knowledge of Y.A. Tittle.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Okay,
This
let's
is
see how
totally
good
cold,
he is.
everybody.
Excuse me?
This is totally cold.
This is not cold. What does Y.A. stand for?
Young American. No?
Yavra Abraham.
Burton Abraham. He got
That's a half a point.
That's half the point. Okay, I'll give him, that wasn't bad. What? Y.A. Tittle and Sonny Jurgensen, 2 NFL Hall of Fame quarterbacks share something in common. What is it? And they're the only 2 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that share this in common.
A shaving commercial?
They didn't both play for the San Francisco 49ers at one time, did they?
You were real close. Neither quarterback had ever won a playoff game.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, listen.
No points.
I said he didn't win it with
He was close
all
on
the
that.
chips on the table at 61-2.
Okay, Y.A. Tittle set a record in 1963 that was passed by Dan Marino in 1986. And what was that?
Passed by Dan Marino in 86.
The most signature restaurants open.
The most pick sixes in the
No.
season.
You were close. He was real close on this one. Now, 36 touchdown passes.
Okay.
And he calls himself a Giants fan. There you go.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to see why Tittle played before I was even born. I know
Bring
enough
his
about
name
him.
up every week. Yeah, so I thought I gave you a chance. One other record. No, this is another one.
A bonus question.
Bonus question. Y.A. Tittle holds a record with 4 other quarterbacks. Sid Luckman, Joe Kapp, Adrian Burke.
They all played at Soldier Field?
Most references on Vegas Sports Nuts.
No.
7 touchdown passes in 1 game.
Really?
Woo!
Sid Luckman.
Sid Luckman.
Played for the Chicago Bears.
Your last great quarterback.
No, Jim McMahon, I think.
Jim McMahon was
No,
not.
Rudy Boltich was your gigantic cannon. You've had some great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Steve Falk.
Douglas.
Who can forget
Bobby Douglas.
Bobby Douglas.
Jay Cutler. And who
Jay
could
Cutler.
forget Jim Harbaugh? Because Jim Harbaugh was a bum! All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Vegas Sports Nuts after these messages.
Nice.
Oh, he's bad now.
We're rolling now.
Lawrence, you ready in the studio?
You got him, Marty? No?
Enjoy the league. And
Oh, okay.
Okay, we need at least 14 minutes, Tommy.
Oh, we can do it.
Let me know when we're 5 out.
You betcha.
Okay. Ready to
I
go?
got another trivia question for him.
Well, let's
Stop
save it.
it.
Save
We
it.
gotta get through the
Save
game.
it. Save it. Save it. Save it. Here we go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Jonathan Scott, we're back at Vegas Sports Nuts here, coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo Road, just east of Maryland Parkway, where we are every Saturday with Mario Longobardi, Kenny Johnson, Jets, Giants, Giants, Jets. Let me go before we get into the afternoon games here. I'm going to quote Matt Yeomans from the RJ. He says, "Arizona's has not won 9 of its past 11 games with smoke and mirrors. The Cardinals proved their defense is legit by going to New England and shutting down Tom Brady. The fear with this bet is it looks too obvious. Eventually, Michael Vick will play a turnover-free game and the Eagles will put it all together. Hopefully that doesn't happen this week." Comments, Mario?
Well, first, I just want to go back quickly to last week's game. I thought the Eagles were the greatest benefactor of 2 blown calls. You cannot have Asamoah be the benefactor of an offensive interference call. The guy's got the longest wingspan of any corner in the league. He is constantly engaged with the wide receiver. Big game. I think that the replacement refs blew that call. That was a touchdown for Smith. It just broke their back when they didn't have that touchdown. And then at the end of the game, if the ball changes the way it articulates with the quarterback's hand, though it's not a fumble yet, it's the beginning of a fumble. Michael Vick was hit a split second before his hand was going forward and the ball was already sideways in hand. So regardless if he pushed it forward 8 yards or not, and it never left his hand, it was moving in his hand. That was a fumble, game over. That's all I'm going to say. They blew 2 calls, and the Ravens have every right to be furious. As for this game, you know, Ken Wisenhunt coached a great game last week, and there's a few sidebars to this game. You got Kevin Cobb now starting for Arizona, and then the guy that they got in the trade the Eagles in was Rogers Cromartie, and he's going to know where that ball's going around the field. Rogers Cromartie could have a couple interceptions in this game. Eagles have benefited from 2 one-point victories and with the referee's help. D'Amico Ryans has helped immeasurably. I like the Cardinals with the points.
+3.
I
Mario.
agree with you on that. If you've heard me the last couple of weeks, I've talked about the focused and disciplined teams, and the focused and disciplined teams have done exceptionally well. The Eagles have had 20 penalties in the last 2 games, 8 turnovers. That's not focused, that's not disciplined. It's been smoke and mirrors. Michael Vick has been extremely lucky, and yes, I agree with Mario. If you did watch the replay, that should have been called a fumble. They were extremely lucky to beat the Ravens. They were extremely lucky to beat Cleveland.
Yep.
So you're taking
No, I like Arizona in this spot.
And the under for me.
under 42. KJ? Under 42?
This isn't over. This is
Over.
over. Just with the
We got a split
penalties,
decision.
stupid interceptions. I like the game over here.
Chargers -3 over the Falcons. 47.5 on the over and under. KJ?
The Chargers so far have played the Sisters of the Poor and the Pahrump School for the Deaf.
Whoa!
This will be the first team they play. We'll see how good they are. The Falcons last week played a great first half and just got off the accelerator in the second half and were fortunate to win. I didn't understand how some of their play calling. And plus Michael Turner decides after the game, I'm going to drive 97 miles an hour at 6 o'clock in the morning on the freeway.
He was in a hurry.
Loaded.
How stupid are these guys?
Yeah, I don't understand. Get a limo.
Come on.
I would have a limo on call.
I just don't get it. The Falcons, you'll see how good they are. Just like I said, San Diego hasn't played anybody yet. They've been very fortunate to play a couple of weak sisters here. Mario, who would you like?
Well, I would like to know what Matt Ryan's record has been as a pro against good teams on the road on grass, and I don't think it's very good at all.
Grass. He knows more about grass than Bob Marley, this guy.
Oh, game on.
You're going to go with the Chargers, Mark?
I am going with the Chargers. I've gone with them the first 2 weeks. I'm going to continue to ride the Chargers for whatever reason. They're under the radar. Norv hasn't blown a game yet. I do like Phillip Rivers. They're stopping the run. I like the Chargers.
And you're taking Atlanta?
We're going to see. I said early in the year they're an offensive juggernaut. I don't know how much this. I don't know how much this Michael Turner thing is. I haven't really seen if there's any discipline. I'm surprised Goodell hasn't stepped in and suspended him.
I'm surprised he'd start because he should at least sit out the first half of the game.
Yeah, thinking I haven't really heard anything to the contrary on this. We'll see how good the Falcons are. Like I said, the Chargers have been fortunate with their schedule so far.
So you're taking Falcons, Kenny?
I'll take the Falcons getting 3 here, but this is another spot that.
And Mario's going over 47.5.
I'm going over this game, yeah.
Kenny, you going over or under? You don't
With
care.
the Falcons offense, I would lean to the over here.
2 unders, Camille. Two overs there. Texans, Broncos, 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 Broncos. What do we have to say about Miss Manning?
Well, Mr.
Oh!
Oh.
Hey!
That's tough.
He's cute.
That's tough.
Sandy says he's cute.
Manning's got to rebound, and I think that's the byline of that game. Andre Johnson has quietly had 11 receptions, but that team is really coached well right now on both sides of the ball. They're playing great defense. They can run, they can throw. They got a fine quarterback.
Who is that?
The Houston Texans. I think that they are one of the most balanced teams in the league with the San Francisco 49ers. I like them to beat Peyton Manning. I know he doesn't lose too many times, twice in a row, no less at home here. But I'm going to take a dome team winning in Houston, which I'm sorry, winning in Denver is what I have to say. And I wouldn't normally do that, but for some reason I like this team, this Houston team.
Things to do in Denver when you're dead. KJ, Broncos, Texans.
Denver, Manning just, if you remember his days with the Colts, he had Reggie Wayne, he had Marvin Harrison, he had Clark. There was a telepathy there. They just knew, here, I'm going to cut. Here's the move I'm going to make. I can beat this guy. There was a telepathy there. They were all on the same wavelength. He doesn't have that with these receivers, and you can see that with some of the passes.
Well, not yet, but I think Decker is his prototype. They just need more time.
Houston, if they stay healthy, if you can get that team to have Andre Johnson healthy for a whole year and Matt Schaub healthy for a whole year, and you've got both Tate and Foster, I said early in the year, this is the team I like. I've had them the last 2 weeks, and they're in the zone right now, and I'll take them again here.
So you're taking Houston?
Yeah, I just said I like this team. I think they're the best.
Over or under 44.5. Steelers, Raiders, Steelers. Kenny.
Oh boy.
Minus 3.5. Steelers minus 3.5. 45.5 is the over and under. In Oakland.
Just when I thought that the Raiders stunk the place up against the Chargers, they said, no, we can do better than that against the Dolphins. We can play even worse. And they did. They couldn't tackle. Palmer was missing his throws. And if you watch the angles some of the safeties and linebackers were taking on their tackles, that's just poor coaching all the way around.
That's a poor team. 71% of their offensive plays are pass plays. You can't win in the end. Plus, it's Carson Palmer with 71% of the plays.
Not even gained 30 yards.
2 yards a carry.
2 yards
He's
a carry.
Is it over for Roethlisberger?
Roethlisberger? No. Why do you think that? Pittsburgh's going to win this game. You know what? Mike Tomlin's got a lot of Bill Parcells in him, and I say this in one capacity. He usually beats teams he should beat, and he will beat this Raider team. This is a horrible Raider team. Even without the running back Mendenhall, Harrison, and Troy Polamalu, Pittsburgh's going to kill him.
Going to kill them. So you're going to cover the 3.5.
This looks like a dominance and submission.
This is my 3-star. This is my favorite game.
This looks like another.
This is your favorite pick of the week?
Pittsburgh and money line on the Bengals.
Taken out to the woodshed. This is a 31-3, 31-10 game. The Oakland Raiders already are playing frustrated, and this doesn't look like a team to me that if they get down by more than 10 points, they start pointing fingers at each other, their heads are down, and like I said, they're just poorly coached, and the Steelers have been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years, and like Mario said, good teams don't lose to.
Over or under 45.5?
I don't see the Raiders scoring 10 points.
That's
Under.
why.
Both are going under.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the 5 o'clock game. Patriots, Ravens. Ravens, Patriots. Kenny, Ravens minus 2.5.
Somebody's going to be 1-2 after this game, and you know I hope it's going to be 1-2.
Yeah, the Ravens.
Anyway, let's go here.
Hey, come on, Patriots.
I got to listen to Toulouse, Lautrec, jokes, and
Too tight, too loose, too tight.
This is the push of the week.
Yeah.
This is the push of the week. If it's 3, the Ravens are going to win by 3. If it's 2.5, then I'll take the Ravens. But the Ravens
Why don't you
are
just
gonna
take the
win by
money
8.
line?
Because I can't take the money line with the
On the
Ravens. I would
Patriots.
lose. I don't want to take the money line. The Ravens are going to win the game by 3.
Oh,
Kenny, what do you say?
Welker has disappeared from the offense, which I don't understand.
Okay, I have a byline to this. I have a story about this.
Make it
You
fast.
can't tell me that Bill Belichick's only axe to grind with Welker is the contract dispute. Prior
1,875 words to 140 for those keeping track.
Prior to Dave Dewison dying, the late great Dave Dewison, you know him all too well. I sat down with him on a bar stool for an hour. It was great. And I asked him about Walter Payton not scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And he said to me, I'll tell you what the deal was with that. He said, first drive of the game, Walter Payton fumbles, and Mike Ditka wanted a shutout in that game badly. No, there's never been a shutout
The coach.
in the history of the Super Bowl.
The Bears.
The Patriots got a chip shot field goal out of it, and we're up 3-0 in a 46-10 game. A lot of people don't know that. Same thing happens here. I cannot help but think Belichick goes back to that ball that went off Welker's hands. He's using this contract thing. He's saying the other guy had a better camp. I mean, the numbers that Welker has put up, to have him second string right now, there's more to it than meets the eye. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's all you're going to say? Does anybody out there believe that?
What's the word count, Kenny?
What's the word, Jeff? Anyway, that's the push this game.
You're going Bush Doors. What do you like?
I never even got to say push.
Patriots, Ravens. Kenny, make it simple. Patriots,
Well, we
Ravens.
got simple sitting across from
Ravens.
I got to like the Ravens here.
All right, that's all I want to know.
All I got to say is 1968.
Oh, geez.
1960. Let's go move on to the
He's
Monday
so
night game.
proud
We're
of
running out of
his- he's
time.
so proud of his.
Packers over Seahawks. Away from Green Bay last season, Aaron Rodgers threw for 21 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. What do you think?
Seattle's just a jinx stadium for teams. You saw what they did to Dallas last week.
Pipe-in noise.
I hate the Packers. I hate the
Here
Packers.
we go. This was the investigation.
They're
game
gonna have
last
one.
week with the
We're calling an investigation. Have you heard from the commissioner?
No.
Commissioner Gordon.
I have to commiserate.
It's to commiserate. Your grandmother's underwear's done. What do you like? Packers or Seahawks?
The Seahawks have just got the whammy over teams at home. I haven't been able to understand or explain it.
It's a terrible
Mr.
place
Mr.
for a team
Investigation
that
over
should
here.
win. Oh, I think that's the root of it. I wouldn't bet this game. I mean, you take any.
You're staying off.
I would totally stay off this game. I do think the Packers should win, but there's like some kind of devil's triangle over that or under that stadium.
Yeah, I hate the
I don't
Packers.
know what the deal is in Seattle.
Hey, we got a guest coming on. Come on over and introduce yourself.
Well, I'll leave my seat.
No, just stay where you're
All
at.
right.
I'll get up.
We don't, man. No, just come on over. Climb over. We've only got a minute left here.
I'm going to step aside.
All right.
Okay.
We got 2 guests. We got Tommy. We got
Here, Tommy, come over here.
Guido and Tommy. Let's start. Once again, we want to thank our other
Really close,
sponsor,
guys.
WEMA Women in Music Arts and Arts, Women in Music Arts, WEMA Foundation. 40% of football fans are now women. Amazing statistic.
Yeah.
40% of football fans are now women. So thank you, ladies. Guido, Browns or Saints? What's your deal here?
Saints.
Into the microphone.
I have to go with both because they're both the same cut. And I will say, as far as the Saints, the defense is lacking. The defense needs to go back in history last year and the year before and do what they were doing. Okay?
Bounty.
No more bounties. They got paid for that. Well, no. And Drew Brees needs to stop this $29 million contract where it's not worth anymore. Take his pay away, make him work. Like RG3. RG3 got work to play the ball.
Too early to tell, isn't it though, really? RG3, a lot of hype.
As long as he don't get hurt.
He's got to get hurt. It's football.
He's going to
It's
get
the
hurt.
NFL. That's what they do is get hurt. Tommy, Tommy's my Bears fan. What do you got to say, Tommy? Bears, Rams. Is that what you're talking about?
Bears, big.
Bears, big.
Not big.
Not big. You know that, Kenny? He's got two words.
No.
Bears, big.
Bears big.
What else you got to say? -7 in Chicago.
They should cover that easily. Cutler's going to come back with a good week here. The only concern is Forte not in the lineup, but Bush is a capable backup.
Would you agree with me if I said one thing?
One thing.
Harbaugh is a bum. I don't care if he's a coach or what he's doing, he's still a bum. He stuck it up when he was with Chicago. Who cares what he's doing? No, I think he's doing a great job as a coach. So you're in for another week for a punishment at the LVH. When we watch Football Central, make sure to stop by the LVH Hotel and Casino on Paradise Road. We have Football Central in the showroom, 1,600 seats, smoke-free environment, 50-foot high-definition monitors, concert sound. You have a good time every week, don't you?
Best time.
Tommy comes in from Chicago just to watch football at the LVH. We also want to thank Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Mario, thank you, Mario Longobardi, Kenny Johnson. That's it for week number 3, coming to you from Murphy's Law. Flamingo Road, just east of Maryland Parkway. Tune in. Thank you for listening.